Good evening. My name is Michelle Denise Norton. I am the director for the Misanthrope and the creative engine for Upstart Arts. Welcome to tonight's production of the Misanthrope. We've been working on this since January. We are very happy to be here tonight. Continuing Upstart's commitment to bring you classic comedies in the winter to keep you warm with laughter. Everyone involved tonight is a volunteer, and they're helping us, or they have committed a lot of time and effort into our mission of making the classics accessible to everyone. Since the pandemic started, we have pivoted to bringing you these shows online. We are hoping this summer to get back offline and into parks, but we'll also continue to bring these shows to you online as long as there's an interest, because as I say in my director's note, to be human is to connect. And this is a great way for to increase theater accessibility. My wife is reminding me to breathe. So we appreciate you being here tonight and sharing this with us. If you donate, we appreciate your donation, your time, your energy. Follow us on social media. All the information is in the program. Read up on our amazing international cast of actors. I must admit, I've been spoiled by the fact that the pandemic has brought me into a much larger range of actors than locally. And so it's been a lot of fun for me, and I've learned a lot from them. And I really appreciate this opportunity. So I hope you enjoy the show, and I will be in the YouTube chat if you have any questions about the process, and dropping some behind the scenes anecdotes. So thank you for coming and enjoy the show.
Come, why so hot? Alceste.
Leave me, I say.
But why this groundless anger, tell me, pray?
Leave me, sir, I repeat, out of my sight.
Come, don't be angry. Listen, is it right that—
I will be angry, and I won't listen. Zooms.
Be calm, Alceste, and do not chafe your wounds. Though I'm your friend, I vow this strange disease—
You are my friend no longer, if you please. The bond is snapped that held through many a year, when in your soul such ugly blots appear. I tell you outright, you and I must part. I want no place in a corrupted heart.
What are these ugly blots on my fair frame?
Go to, sir. You should die for very shame. Heaven holds no pardon for such monstrous deeds, and every heart that sees them bleeds. You meet a random passer, you caress him, straightway you grasp him, clasp him, press him, bless him, you bow and scrape, you flatter and cajole, and swear you're his forever, heart and soul. Yet once he's gone, your hot zeal grows so tame. You hem and haw, you really can't recall, you've scarcely heard his name 3 times in all. To fawn, to lie, and to dissemble thus. And if unhappily I'd done the same, I'd go and hang myself to hide my shame.
Come, come, this is no hangable offense. I read the statutes in a different sense. In spite the violence of your decrees, I do not mean to hang yet, if you please.
Who cannot reason answers with a jibe.
Who cannot reason lets his friends prescribe.
Agreed. Let men be true and play no part, and let the lips be heralds to the heart.
What? If some friend embraces me with passion, shall I not pay him in the selfsame fashion? Treat his advances as transcendent matter, and praise when he praises, flatter when he flatters.
No. I denounce this mercenary code that among your modish people is in the mode. There's naught I hate more than the vile grimaces of these same flatterers, who greet with their smiling faces, who greet you with outreached arms, who find your thoughts all wise, your speech all charms, and with strained courtesies that never cool or whelm alike the wise man and the fool. What does it profit me to find a friend who swears faith, zeal, esteem, love without end, and lauds my virtue with a tender touch, if the first rogue may hear him say as much? No honest soul, legitimately proud, will care for plaudits lavished on the crowd, and finely tempered spirits stand averse from praises shared by all the universe. Esteem is founded upon preference. A common love offends my common sense. And since you share these vices of the age, I give you up. Puts me in a rage to see the vast indulgence of your heart that gives to each and all an equal part. I crave selection. On this note I end. The friend of all mankind is not my friend.
But in a world be forms and fashions swayed, fair words received, or with fair words repaid.
No, I repeat, my collar overflows at this vile trafficking in hollow shows. Let men lay bare their thoughts, and in all places proclaim their inmost feelings in their faces. Let the heart speak, and let no lying mask distort the simple truth. That's all I ask.
But there are some occasions when pure truth may be offensive, mischievous, uncouth, and now and then, rail as you will, we ought with timely speech to veil untimely thought. Would it be wise or decent when we doubt a friend's good faith to blurt that feeling out? If we dislike a man or think him base, vile, loathsome, shall we say so to his face?
Yes.
What? And would you dare full jump to tell old Emily that she's a frump, and how her paint and powder scandalize?
I would.
Or tell proud Dorilus he is not wise to blazon his great blood, lest the whole court make him and all his ancestry their sport?
I would.
Oh, you jest.
I do not. 'Tis my plan upon this point to spare no mortal man. My soul is sickened. All the world's a stage where every act augments my towering rage. For what is seen in all this motley throng of wrangling actors but triumphant wrong, lording it over right, and mad unreason flattered and fed by roguery and treason? 'Tis past enduring, and from the time forth I'll tell each knave and fool his proper worth.
This frantic humor is too fierce by half, and your wild outbursts only make me laugh. We're friends by diverse tempers ere so swayed, we're like those brothers by Moliere portrayed.
I pray you, drop these stale similitudes.
And I beseech you, shun these savage moods. You cannot mend the world whate'er you do. And since plain speaking has such charms for you, I'll plainly tell you that this crabbed spirit, this railing at all forms that men inherit, this bent to sourly moralize and mock, make you of town and court the laughing stock.
By heaven, I would not have it otherwise. Such laughter is approval in disguise. Let the world laugh. I laugh at it in turn. I court its scorn, and its goodwill I spurn.
I crave selection. You condemn pell-mell.
All, I hate them like the gates of hell.
What? All poor mortals? All, from best to worst? Without one sole exception stand accursed? Still, there is some end in this sorry age.
No, all are damned. Mine is a general rage. I hate all men, some for their scurvy ways, and some because these scurvy rogues they praise, and never feel those wrathful tempests roll that vice should waken in a virtuous soul. See with what ease the party to my suit, despite his crimes, keeps his usurped repute. Through his false mask, the men see rascal's face, and his true self is known in every place. His upturned eyes and his mellifluous speeches discredit all the virtues that he preaches. All know the rogue's so conversant with evil to gain his ends, he'd bargain with the devil. His courtiers love his titles, power, and pelf, but where's the man who loves the wretch himself? Call him a knave, accuse, revile, convict. All will agree, and none will contradict. They know by what vile arts he made his way, and all his vices are as plain as day. And yet, this fellow's welcomed in all houses. With town and court he hobnobs and carouses, and every golden honor in the state becomes the booty of this reprobate. By heaven, I vow it cuts me to the quick that vice should find us grown so politic. Fie on this world. Fills me with such rage I long to flee into a hermitage.
Come, come, let's not disparage poor mankind. They're not all, nor wholly mad and blind, nor are they wholly wicked. The true sage surveys them with an equitable rage, strives with lenience to conciliate his high ideal with their mortal state. His ripened reason is not exigent, and asking much with little is content. The time's grown mild, rigor is out of date. We quote salvation at a cheaper rate. We know the world, we know that men are men, and that even women stumble now and then. In short, it is the acme of all folly to wish to mend mankind. 'Tis melancholy daily to see 100 horrid things that might be heavenly if men sprouted wings. And yet, although I wish them otherwise, I view them without anger nor surprise. I take them as they are. I cannot change them. Then why with grumbling diatribes estrange them? Nay, nay, all men of sense in court and town rise up my calm, and you cry your fury down.
And would it hold, this calm, if you should find your friends turn traitors? Or your foes combine to filch your pockets, blast your reputation, and paint yourself a scandal to the nation?
Yes, truly. For these vices that misfeature the limpid crystalline of human nature are nature's livery. Why should we grieve if woman plays us false, if man deceive? Nature that bids the wolf devour the lamb is the same self-nature made me what I am. She fashioned man and beast. How slight the span that severs monkey, vulture, wolf from man.
What? Shall I see myself betrayed, robbed, bilked, and stand here patient as a cow that's milked? No more. By heaven, you argue like a fool.
I'll say no more. I beg you to keep cool, to be by random feelings less distraught, and give your suit some portion of your thought.
Think of my suit. I tell you I will not.
Come, who shall be the pleaders of your cause?
My pleaders? Reason, justice, and the laws.
And don't you mean to grease their wheels a little?
No. Is my case so weak? My rights so brittle?
By no means, yet intrigue may turn the scale.
I lean on justice. If it fails, I fail. I stand upon my right.
Oh, don't trust to that.
I will not budge.
Beware. The acrobat may overleap the laws.
I do not care.
You'll lose your case. Once more, I say, beware.
I will not. I will sooner lose my suit.
Come, come.
I'll see if wrong so absolute.
So, but sir, you...
I'll make probation in this case, whether the age we live in is so base and labors under so malign a curse, 'twill wrong me in the eyes of the universe.
Foolish wrath.
Care not what it cost. I'll test it though my suit be 10 times lost.
Be calm. Be calm. If men could hear but half of your wild words, how loudly they would laugh.
My curse light on the laughers.
Oh, come, Alceste. Let me submit you to a different test. You harp on virtue, honor, truth, and yet do you not worship a confirmed coquette? How does it come that you, who darkly frown as fools and villains all, still from that race choose for your adoration one fair face? Why does your rigorous judgment not forswear a fair face coupled with a heart unfair? Eliant, a lady beauteous, pure, and good, smiles on you. So too does that haughty prude Arsinoe. Yet you let those fond ones sigh, and only Celaman can draw your eye. Do you admire in her those horrid crimes and scandals that you censure in the Times? Do you condone when harbored in her breast the faults that elsewhere make your soul protest? Are they no longer faults in one so fair? Or do you only see the motherware?
No, by my faith, those foibles others see in her I love. Oh, how they torture me. Yes, even when they harbor in her breast, I see those blots that elsewhere I detest. And yet, 'tis true, I cannot quite despair. Whate'er her faults, she is so heavenly fair. I see them, I deplore them, but in vain. I chide, I melt, I scold, yet love again. And love condones and cancels all. I trust love will redeem her sins. It can, it must.
God speed you. That would be a 9 days wonder. Think you she loves you truly?
May heaven's thunder impute me if I doubt. I know she loves me.
But if you can avouch her constancy, why does the fear of rivals fret your heart?
Ah, 'tis the very trick of love to start at every half-heard sound, or quake with fear if even a rival's shadow fall too near. Therefore, I mean to fix a date to hopes and fears, and learn from her my fate.
Ah me, if I today the wooer were, I'd woo fair Eliante instead of her. Her nature's gentle, and slow-moving time has smoothed it to perfection. What sweet rhyme could rhyme her sweetness? Or what tongue recite that patient love that would outwatch the night and sing the stars to sleep? Such constancy dwells in the holy quiet of her eye. Perhaps hidden that heart so pure, so true, gleams the rare pearl of happiness for you.
My judgment echoes yours, and yet 'tis fated. For when were love and judgment ever mated? Your fears and doubts fill me with melancholy, but reason never yet ruled love's folly.
I would this day by an auspicious end might crown your love and
Good sir, hold a friend. Excuse me if I take you unawares. The legs being gone, I climb the stairs to speak to you at once. You cannot dream the warmth and altitude of my esteem, and this esteem, this zeal, this love inspires the first, last, greatest of all my desires. To be your friend. My heart charmed by your merit and by the thousands graces you inherit. Trust me, you will love me in your turn and feel how true a friend I am and how genteel. They are for you, sir. All these eulogies.
For me, sir.
Aye, surely they can't displease.
Oh, no, yet, sir, I scarcely can believe my ears, so great the honor I receive.
By such esteem you scarce can be surprised, whose worth by all the world is recognized.
Oh, sir.
There's no office in the state that for your golden merit is too great.
Sir.
So supreme your worth, your rivals all seem but pale copies. You, the original.
Sir.
May the lightning blast me if I speak one word I do not think. Now, on your cheek let me imprint the seal of amity. Call me your friend from this day forth and be the brother of my soul. Your promise. Quick, you'll be my friend?
Sir.
Sure you do not stick at swearing.
Sir, you honor me indeed, but friendship does not shoot up like a weed, and men profane its sacred name and nature who sanction every random candidature. It is a compact made with care and choice. Friendship and love should wait on reason's voice. And we might rue it on a later day if we too quickly give our hearts away.
Gad, sir, you speak like a philosopher. I love you all the more for it. Let's defer, since that's your pleasure, till some future hour these friendly bonds. Meantime, if I have power to serve your hopes at court, I'm wholly yours. Yours, sir, to make all kinds of overtures. The king consults me, heeds me, is my friend. And I have hopes, plans, prospects without end. Do not forget, I'm yours unto the death. And knowing all your skill and good fare, to seal our bond, I will now bid you sit in judgment on a sonnet I have writ.
Sir, that's a task too hard for my poor wit, I beg of you.
Why?
I lack the skill to feign, and if a thing mislikes me, I'm too plain.
The very thing I crave. You would do wrong to make black white, to bracket weak and strong, to call bad versus good, or good ones bad.
Since you insist, why, sir, I shall be glad.
A sonnet. 'Tis a sonnet. Hope, you see it's for a lady that had smiled on me. Hope 'tis not high flown, pompous, swelling verse, but tender rhyme, sweet, languorous, and terse.
We'll see, sir.
Hope, I hope my polished ease and gentlemanly melody may please, and that my choice of words will fit your taste.
We'll see, sir.
Anyhow, I write in haste. Gad, sir, it scarcely took a half hour's time.
Haste, sir, makes waste. Slow time builds lofty rhyme.
Hope, I count thee but a fount of mingled joy and sorrow. Thy waters mount, recede, remount, bubbling today and dry tomorrow.
A rare beginning with every line witty.
Rare, witty. Tell him, do, that it's divine.
Phyllis, before your lips forswore the love I bore, you murmured, yes, unless still more you hold in store than heretofore. Why acquiesce?
How gallantly you hint at her rebuff.
What? Do you praise this namby-pamby stuff?
In this lorn state, if I must wait, I'll annihilate my destined fate. This mortal coil untying, so negative the hope you give, so fugitive. Why should I live still sighing, crying, dying?
Ah, how enchanting. What a dying fall.
Plague take you, cacophony. I would this scrawl, this gimcrack, gibble-gabble, choke-pear sonnet stuck in your throat, that you might strangle on it. A dying fall, forsooth.
'Tis full of matter, of pith, of fire, of style.
I fear you flatter.
Zoons.
Faith, not I.
Ha! Traitor!
Well, no matter. But you, sir, you have promised without ruth and all sincerity to tell the truth.
It is a ticklish trade to criticize, and only eulogists are counted wise. Sire, one day, to a friend whose name I hid that begged me judge his verses, I replied, a gentleman may indeed be a poet if he but screen the fact so that none may know it. Make rhymes in secret and secrete his rhymes from past, from present, and from future times. But if he violate the golden rule, why, the proudest gentleman may play the fool.
And by rehearsing of this little chat, you mean to hint I'm wrong.
I don't say that, but I did say to him that frigid verse to all who hear it is a baleful curse. And one is damned by this criterion, though in all else he be a paragon.
I suspect you do not like my sonnet and mean to pass an unkind judgment on it.
I don't say that. I merely said, in brief, that many an honest man thus comes to grief.
Do I, sir, lurk behind this pseudonym?
I don't say that, but, sir, I said to him, why this mad lust to fashion odes and strophes? And why beset the printer with these trophies? For making useless books, a man can give one sole excuse. He wrote that he might live. Believe me, exercise this silly passion. Or if some sweating devil makes you fashion couplets and quatrains, hide from mortal sight neath triple bolts and bars the stuff that you write. You are an honest man, and all men know it, while not a soul suspects you are a poet. Then why rush into print and let men scan a worthless poet in the honest man? Such were the truths I tried to make him see.
I see them perfectly and quite agree, but tell me, is there something in my sonnet?
Sir, since again you ask my verdict on it, it's downright bad. You followed foolish models who had no thought to nature in their noddles. What means this line, I count thee but a fount? Or this, thy waters mount, recede, remount? Or this, in this lorn state, if I must wait, I antedate my destined fate? Or this, so negative the hope you give, so fugitive, why should I live? Such flights of fancy travesty the heart. Pure truth and feeling are the soul of art. And all these far-fetched turns and glittering freaks are not the language simple nature speaks. When whim is sovereign, judgment is displaced. Our untaught fathers had a finer taste. And I prefer to all our tortuous rhymes this simple ditty of the olden times. If the king should say to me, come, my lad, I'll give to thee my great city Paris, and instead would take away her whom I shall love alway, that so sweet and fair is, I would say, King Henry, nay, keep your city Paris, but take not my love away, her whom I shall love alway, that so sweet and fair is. The rhymes are simple and the style is plain, but can't you see how true it is? How sane and how pure passion breathes in every line, mocking the modern verse men deem so fine? Si le roi m'avait donné Paris sa grande ville, et qu'il me fallut quitter l'amour de ma mie, j'aurais dit au roi Henri, reprenez votre Paris. J'aime mieux mamie, ok, j'aime mieux mamie. Such is the language that true love inspires. Laugh if you like at artless passion's fires. I tell you, this old ballad's sweeter far than all your florid jeweled verses are.
In any case, I know my sonnet's good.
I'd say as much, sir, if only I could. But since I can't, I beg you will permit I remain less spellbound by your wit.
Critics more apt find not a word to blot.
They have the art of feigning. I have none.
Is wit so rare that you alone possess it?
Is praise so cheap I must to you address it?
I'd gladly see a samples of your wit on the same theme some verses you had writ.
They might be as bad as yours, sir, but I swear I'd hide them from the world with proper care.
I scorn your praise, sir. I can do without it.
Indeed. Why then make all this stew about it?
I tell you, sir, I do not like your tone.
Ah, but you should. It's modeled on your own.
My little sir, your language is too proud.
My great sir, it shall not be disavowed.
Good friends, you go too far. In heaven's name,
You're right. I yield. I am indeed to blame. Your valet. Sir, until again we meet.
Let me be yours. Till then, sir, I entreat.
so there you are. Through being too sincere, you have a duel with this coxcomb here. Just plain as day, 3 words of barren praise.
Silence, I say. Oh, these degenerate days.
Come,
Let me begin.
where?
Nay, no more. You drive me mad.
But sir,
My soul is sore past curing.
but
Don't dog my steps, I say. I mean to flee this wicked world. Away.
I will not leave you in this savage mood to fret and sting your soul in solitude.
Madam, I lack your skill at hide and seek to gloze my thought and soften what I speak. I hate these giddy ways, this guileful art, this liberal openness of house and heart, and this high tide of amorous enterprise. I should speak false did I speak otherwise. And I see, if plainly we shall break at last, and our fond dream will be forever past. No conjurations can forestall that hour, not all my love oppose its fatal power.
Oh, courteous knight, was it for this, I pray, you brought me home to scold me all the way?
I do not scold, but your free courtesy trails in its wake too much knight errantry. The lovers that best you are too plenty. I would be 1 in 2, not 1 in 20.
But since I am 20 and reputed fair, must I reduce all lovers to despair? Must with brandish cudgel walk the floor and drive all my adorers from the door?
'Tis not a cudgel, madam, that I preach, but ears less eager for their honeyed speech. I know you are the paragon of charm, and love beholds you only to disarm. But need you end the work those charms began and levy amorous toll from every man? Need the warm hope that those melting eyes inspire maintain, as well as light this gallant fire? Might not this large indulgence less extended behold this endless press of lovers ended? Come, tell me, madam, by what happy spell your friend Cletonder pleases you so well? What hidden worth of what peculiar art has he that finds the pathway to your heart? Is it that long nail on his little finger that has seduced your eye? Does your soul linger enmeshed with all our bows and bells in the big and flaxen glories of his periwig? If it his streaming bands, his flowing coat, or the thick laugh that gurgles from his throat, the broad cuffs that billow round his ankles that weave this charm? Upon my soul, upon my word, it rankles my very soul to see this fawning knave dancing attendance on you like a slave.
How stupid is this baseless jealousy? I humor him. You know the reason why. I use his zeal to serve my private ends. To win my suit, I need him and his friends.
Then lose your suit, and without any more debate, cease playing with a rival that I hate.
Is there a man whom you do not suspect?
Is there a man whose homage you reject?
Oh, favor so widely spread cannot last long, nor strike deep roots. You know the good old song. Safety in numbers, you would have more reason to fear one flame than 20 in a season.
For which of all the 20 do you care? What favor have I which they do not share?
The bliss of knowing you alone are loved.
'Tis sweetly said, but I would see it proved.
It's not enough, my Alceste, to have heard fall from my lips that reassuring word.
Perhaps within the hour to someone else you've said as much.
Oh, now, certes, that's the flower, the very pink of lover's courtesy. A pretty thing indeed you make of me. But henceforth, drive these notions from your head, for here I do unsay all I have said. Give back my heart, I'll return your own, and let's cry quits.
Down from your purple throne descend, O love. Lo, here I stand, alone, betrayed, undone. Ah, could I tear away my heart from those cold hands, I'd bless this day. Yes, I avow it. I have done my best to quench the fatal flame that burns my breast, but 'tis in vain. To expiate my sins, I'm doomed to love on even where hate begins.
You love indeed in unexampled fashion.
I do. I do. Mine is a fatal passion. It beggars all conception. I defy the world to show a lover such as I.
This love, in truth, is of a novel kind, that in its object only seeks to find some cause for strife. This love that growls and mutters, that burns most hotly when it smokes and sputters.
Your hand could trim this flame that's so uneven to burn as brightly as the stars in heaven, if you but wished. Ah, would you but begin?
What now?
I cast the Marquis.
Show him in.
What? Can we never have a word in private? Whene'er I wish to speak, must you contrive it that some unwelcome supervening shall spy my mien and try to guess my meaning?
What, would you urge me to offend accost?
This state of things, I tell you, cannot last.
If I receive him coldly, he would be from this day forth my bitterest enemy.
What matter if he love you well or ill?
I told you why I canvass his goodwill. He has a certain standing in the court. I do not know how he came by it. In short, the great world listens to this malapert, and though he cannot help me, he can hurt. To gain my ends, I swallow down my pride and keep this loud-tongued braggart on my side.
Whatever reasons I allege to hate him, you find more reasons still to tolerate him. Him and his likes. Oh, double-dealing heart.
Glitandre, madam.
Ha!
Why do you start?
I'm going.
Stay,
Why?
stay,
To what end?
stay.
I cannot.
But I beg you, do.
Away! These conversations are a deadly bore. I come out from them vexed and mad and sore. I will not stay.
Pray do, I beg.
I won't.
Well, have your way. I care not. Do not stay. Don't.
Glitandre and Acast have come upstairs. Were they announced?
Yes, cousin. What? Not gone yet?
No, I intend to stay. Although my visit should outlast the day, this hour you choose between us.
Hush!
Speak out.
You rave.
You shall no longer flout my hopes with hollow pretexts. You shall speak. You shall choose between us.
What mad freak?
There's no escape. This dallying must end.
I'm from the Louvre, where poor Cleant, our friend, proved by 100 silly things he said what no one denies. He's a dunderhead. Has he no friend who might discreetly hint 'twere well to hide a head with nothing in it?
To wag that empty pate is all his pride, and show off the desert realms inside. He spends whole nights in planning to be clever, and proves the next day to be a greater fool than ever.
Taking a fully folk not Lego, that traveling demon when I see the flow of that ending when it had began. Give me a full hour standing in the sun.
He is the lord of phrase and paraphrase. He can say nothing in 1,000 ways. He is Sir Oracle. His misty mind can see in cloud, and when is heard is wind.
A good beginning. Each one has his turn. If you would know yourself, come here and learn.
Hmm. What think you of Timont?
A curious creature. He shows some oddity in every feature. His head's a ragbag, his brain is dizzy, and without business, he's always busy. Each word he speaks is subtly underscored. At every turn, he comes in breathless fear to breathe some secret that you learned last year. And when at length he drags himself away, he hoarsely whispers in your ear, "Good day."
And the great man, Gerald?
Upon my word, he's not a man at all. He's a lord. He mingles only with the world of fashion, with viscounts, dukes, and princes, his sole passion. His rank and opulence and he discourses only of mistresses, hounds, and horses. And these and thous men of highest fame, and none with him have handles to their name.
I hear his own is coupled with Belize.
It cannot be. What art has she to please? That witless woman, that remainder biscuit at love's feast? Oh, surely he would not risk it. She often visits me. Oh, deadly hour. When I exalt all my colloquy power, to talk to her, she cannot talk to me, but listens on in blank civility and in a sort of comatose condition until our monologue dies of inanition. Not so her visit that lives on and on, like the Danube creeping as the dawn, who bales of commonplaces are unrolled. I say it rains, it shines, it's hot, it's cold. I ask the hour 10 times, I yawn, I gape, and still she sits before me, that ghastly shape.
You know what that's true, I fancy.
All too well. He has no other pastime than to dwell on his own worth and revile the court, because it will not join him in the sport. If any man is to give a post is given, he cries he has been wronged before high heaven.
What of young Cleon, at whose crowded board the meanest guest is duke or lord?
It is the cook they honor and not Cleon. He is the god to whom they all sing their paean.
The table groans with the allest rarest dishes.
Yes, but among the dainty meats and fishes, there is always one odd fish that spoils the rest, and that is Cleon, whom I cannot digest.
His uncle Damus, whom all men commend. Don't you esteem him, madam?
As a friend,
He has a wise and gentlemanly mind.
which to be laughed at needs to be seen. From head to foot, he's all pomposity. His virtue is all virtuosity, and since he grew so keenly analytic, nothing can please this Radamantian critic. Each new book he species 1,000 blots. It is a desert with no garden spots. To admire and to be tickled is all failing. A critic's skill is only shown in railing. He scorns the age as much as others love it, and thinks in hate as he soars above it. Our very gossip galls his nicer taste, and he abstains lest he should be disgraced. With folded arms, enthroned like a judge, he sits and smiles in putty on our groveling wits.
Of one who speak not, I speak in likeness.
I've met indeed with many I like less.
Who am I weathercocks? On with the joust, and let some friend drop dead at every thrust. Yet by my faith, when last the course appeared, you rushed to meet it open-armed, and neared your lips to its, and clasped its clammy hands like friends fast joined in everlasting bands.
Why blame us for this blaze of wit? I fear Madame's the sole incendiary here.
But it is your base flattery that kindles this wicked flame. Withdraw that and it dwindles. The incense that you burn upon her altar, the hymns you chant, the ever-open psalter from which her lauds are sung, your genuflections all bend her soul in these oblique directions. Thus, all who see in vice a venial matter become co-partners in the sins they flatter.
But why so hotly do you now defend what you are else the first to reprehend?
Ah, surely you would not with sour restriction deprive him the joy of contradiction. Would you oblige him calmly to control that inboard contrary of soul? Say, black is black, and straight he will maintain 'tis white. Agree, and lo, it is black again. Try to hedge and hint it may be brown, he swears it's gray. Say gray, he cries you down. He finds such wondrous charm in opposition, he turns his cannon on his own position, and fights the very cause he had embraced, if by another's wit he sees it graced.
The laughers are for you. Your sparkling wit finds smiling audience here. Not few, but fit.
They are right. And you have more than once confessed to this strange quirk that leads you to protest that all men's judgments are squint and lame, whether they prefer praise or utter blame.
Yes, I protest because all men are mad. Because they can't distinguish good from bad. Because I see them in and out of season, praise without sense, and censure without reason.
But yeah.
No. Though I should die for it, I'll speak my mind. I hate your slanderous wit and find these gallants' taste not over nice to play the panders to your darling vice.
As for myself, I see no faults, but find in Celimen the pearl of womankind.
I see. Revealed to my balsams instead of meaning the flower of innocence.
True love is stern. It judges and reproves. It pardons nothing in the one it loves. True love leans swooning o'er the budding rose, yet sees the worm its silken leaves enclose. True love hangs ravished o'er the glowing pearl, yet knows the grain of dross those depths enwhirl.
In fine, if we should choose you for our guide, we'll drive all gentle lovers from our side, and find love's truer knight is uncontrolled, a stormy swain that only raves and scolds.
True love is gentle, and its procreant eyes find only good in what they idolize. Pale passion, brooding o'er the thing it loves, is like the dial's lingering hand that moves o'er the white disk, and while its journey lasts, perceives no shadow save the one it casts. Thus the fine lover, dazed by love's assaults, worships his lady even in her faults. The pallid jasmine has stoned the jasmine white. The swarthy one outshines the starry night. The bag of bones flits with lissom grace, and the fat dame sails onward with majestic pace. The slattern, who despairs of looking smart, has all the charms of nature without art. The tall is Dian, and the short we scan all nature's graces in a 4-foot span. The haughty's Jade, a queen of womankind, the wily minx is witty, the fool kind, the chatterbox a paragon of sense, the taciturn all blushing diffidence.
Nay, listen, I maintain.
Come, gentlemen, this sermon's ended. Let's say amen. But surely you're not going.
No, indeed.
You hesitate the parting guest to speed? Go if you will, or if you will, stay on. I only mean to go when you are gone.
If Selim wished, I could stay till none shall bathe the lingering eye of day.
If Celimen but wished it, I could stay till midnight and the king call me away.
Alceste was joking.
No, I want to see whether you wish to part with them or me.
Sir, there's a man below, big and raw-boned, on business which he says can't be postponed. He wears a jacket with a plaited fold and has a fringe around it, all of gold.
Bah, this is tedious as a tale twice told.
Go, show him in.
Come, Speak, sir. What's your pleasure?
Word in private, sir, if you're at leisure.
Come. Speak out. I have no secrets here.
Sir, you are hereby summoned to appear before the judges.
Aye, sir.
You, sir.
On what count? On what count?
Mhm.
How? Must be for that stupid quarrel with Orant. About a sonnet I pronounced absurd. And so it was. I won't retract a word.
Keep cool and do not waste your breath in railing.
What? Ha! Those rhymes are vile.
Be calm and try to use a gentler style before the court.
I come, but there's no power in heaven or earth, I say.
In half an hour, you might undo this coil.
Unless the king by sovereign fiat hush me, I will cling to what I said. That sonnet's void of sense, and writing it a hangable offense. Zoons! Gentlemen, I did not know my wit had so much salt for you.
Come, sprinkle it with more discretion. It is time to go.
'Tis time to go. Aye, madam, even so, there are issues weightier that I burn to hear you fix. I go, but I return.
Hail, good my lord. You seem in happy mood, gay as a lark. But do not cares intrude, and do not doubts, no spectral visions rise, no fears of rivals in your paradise?
I think I see a semper have a trick and got the snake. But what is that to me? I fear no rival. I'm a rich, I'm a young, I'm from the most subtle in sprung, and with no other sanctioned armor race, I can aspire to the superb place. I'm not without some skill in larder men, with it good play, but only now and then. You know my less of fear? You look perplexed. But don't fret, I will about you to the next. But I'm for peace, no war. Upon my word, it come with me is mighty and sword. Without shambelier even, with a good face, and I claim both. I judge all simple hate, and without study I still hear the mark. The new play still I who like the spark, that set off the applause when I cry ha, 100 clap of the hands, 100 cry Hilsa. I'm grateful too, I'm tall and bony face, with a love after this and a lender ways. As for my tailor, without vanity, he makes a daily masterpiece of me. Love but the sex and honor but the kind. I'm indeed not future underlined. This, good my lord, it cannot be denied. I have some reason to be satisfied.
But since elsewhere you find such easy spoils, why linger here with unrequited toils?
Go to. I'm not a man to toil in vain. So the fair with added pain. It is for humbler head and wit and mind to boil and heat it before beauty shine. To turn to marble with collagen fears, or mail away like Naomi in tears. To languish of then and on like complain, a 15 years of woman dear disdain. Waiting on his long time at home to Harry, what a lovely night to the anglers married. But good my lord, a gallant of my fashion, is paid in full for what he spent of passion. I know my sword and keeping well in mind, who with my homage must repay in kind. And when I love, the weather may you lay, my lady comes to meet my love fell away.
Think you, my lord, that you're in favor here?
I know, my lord. That's all the coast is clear.
Believe me, you were never more mistaken. The siege is done. The fort's already taken. You're fooled. You're blind.
It's true. I'm fooled. I'm blind.
Why do you fancy Solomon so kind?
I'm fooled.
Her radiance on arrival beams.
I'm blind.
You only intercept the gleams.
I'm hoodwinked.
Have you won some token, some lover's knot, some kiss, some word soft spoken? Confess, you have not.
Nay, I'm a boss.
But answer me.
Alas, I am ill used.
A truce to banter. Tell me, dear sir, frankly, what feeds this full-blown hope that shoots so rankly?
You are the habitant of paradise. I battered the world with ambitious eyes. You could the rose I blade upon the thorn. I mean to hand myself tomorrow, mom.
Come, let's decide by some convincing proof which one she loves, from which she stands aloof. And if you hold the tokens of her favor, 'tis you shall crop the flower and breathe its savor. But if I flaunt her colors, you shall yield, and I remain sole victor in the field.
Agreed. No compact, sir. It could please me better, and I observe it to the very letter. A hush.
Still here?
Love,
Love chains us to the spot.
I heard a carriage coming, did I not? I wonder who it is.
Madam Arsino,
What can that horrid woman want of me?
Eliant is talking with her below stairs.
I dropped down from the clouds, thus unawares.
His crooked twag is darling contracting. As an eventual straightness, she's reacting.
She's merely acting, not reacting, sir. I could point out some ugly twists in her that you'd scarce credit. All her snares are set to catch some tardy lover in her net. She lies in ambush with baleful eyes, transfixing all who carry off a prize. She curses her inexorable luck. Poor favored wallflower, none will stoop to pluck. She waits and coyly plays the prude to mask the life of loveless solitude. She calls each smile a snare, each grace a blot, in all who have the charms that she has not. Then dreams of love still wanton with the rest, and rumor says she's angling for Alceste. And what is more, that baffled in her wishes, she cries 'tis I, not herself, that fishes. In every place where both of us are known, she hints dark things of me in whispered tone. In short, the jade is wholly void of sense and most consummate in her imprudence. Ah, what blessed chance has brought you here today? I have so missed you while you were away.
There are some weighty things I have to tell.
Ravished to see you and to see you well.
I'm glad we have no auditors at hand.
Come, let's sit down.
No, I prefer to stand. True friendship, madam, shines chiefly in this, to warn our friends whene'er they go amiss. Whatever precious gem she wear upon her, a woman's brightest jewel is her honor. Since honor can be sold but never bought, without that grace, her beauty counts for naught. Therefore, I've come to make communication of something that concerns your reputation. Being lately with a group of pious friends, gathered for virtuous and holy ends, we chanced to talk of you, and truth to tell, your conduct did not please them very well. These many gallants trailing in your wake, your levity, the liberties you take, your routs, your balls, all these were very little relished and met more censure than I could have wished. Of course, the more I heard them discommend you, the more I strained and shifted to defend you. I guaranteed your purity of heart and tried to prove them wrong, at least in part. I said that rumors are often inventions and sought excuses in your good intentions, but there are things so plausible, you know, that though not true, all people think them so, and there are actions of such doubtful hue that I could not defend them, nor could you. This I was forced against my will to grant, that your behavior has a dubious slant, and that when measured with impartial eyes, it has a tendency to scandalize. I had to grant, too, that you were to blame for letting gossip play around your name. I know, of course, you have not set at naught the laws of virtue. Heaven forbid the thought. But even the purest sins against her honor who lets one word of scandal breathe upon her. Madam, I know that you're the soul of reason and will not find my warnings out of season. I know you'll weigh the counsels I deliver and trust you'll take the hints and thank the giver.
Oh, madam, I thank you for this show of zeal and will not hide the gratitude I feel with no less warmth than you display for mine. I burn to see your honor purely shine and mean to pay you back without delay by telling you in turn what people say. Being lately with some very worthy friends, though we met for festive and social ends, we chanced to talk of you and to tell your conduct did not please them, these folks at all. The prudish mien, your sanctimonious face, the ceaseless talking of holiness and grace, your constant seeing of some vile intent, some soul of evil and things innocent, your poisonous hints, your with honeyed words embellished, all these things, my dear, were very little relished. Your swollen self-conceit, the pitied tone with which you gauged all merits but your own, your cavalling, your scoffing, your damnation of every of the most harmless recreation. These silly fashions in which you fall were loudly disapproved by one and all. Why this coy speech, they asked, these downcast eyes with these chaste airs which all her life belies? She never forgets when 'tis time to pray, but beats her maid when 'tis time to pay. At church she kneels, the image of a saint, all piety, all powder, and all paint. A naked Venus makes her blush and start, yet who would swear she never played the part? In private frail, pure in the public eye, her whole career is one protracted lie. Of course, in hearing them thus reprehend you, I also nobly labored to defend you, but labored vainly. I alone defended, and all the other 20 reprehended. She that is pure, they said, doth still incline, shining in grace, to let her sister shine. She does not seek her virtues to besmirch, but leaves her sins to heaven and to church. To sum up, they agreed, in spite of me, that there are some things we scant yet cannot see, and that it is best for a sagacious nose to shun the strange and smell the homegrown rose, lest, proving but a barren counterfeit known by some other name, it smells less sweet. Madam, I know that you too worship reason and find its wisdom never out of season. I know you'll weigh this counsel I deliver, and hope you'll take the hint and thank the giver.
Madam, though good advice is oft rejected, yet your retort is scarce what I expected, and has in it something splenetic that shows your heart is wounded to the quick.
Far from it. Were we wise, we'd put in use this courteous interchanging of abuse. Such mutual hints, well meant and kindly given, would cure us all of the blind self-love we live in. And so, good madam, if you have the heart, let's exercise this edifying art by still repeating all the ill we hear, you of myself, and I of you, my dear.
Madame, I am sure you have no enemies. 'Tis I repel the people whom you please.
Madam, all things may merit praise or blame, since changeful time leaves nothing long the same. Things shine today that yesterday did not. And what's pure now, tomorrow wears a spot. There's time for love and smiles and sport, and there's time for putting on to port. There comes an hour for turning prude at last, when youth and all its gaieties are past. This solemn air sits well on faded cheeks, and in spent eyes as eloquently speaks. I too may come to this pass, I allow, when age and wrinkles teach me when and how. But now, the difference of our age, how vast! I have a future, and you have a past.
You vaunt your youth with jubilating tongue as if none but yourself was ever young, and stress and magnify with joy, malign the little span between your age and mine. What is the cause of this injurious tone? Do you suspect a rival near the throne?
What is the cause, if in turn I may ask, that you're always taking me to task? Why do you rail at me through court and town, and then as a faithless minion cry me down? Why do you blame me for your dateless maidenhood and for the rage of winters withstood? You cannot say that it is from you I take the many gallants trailing in my wake. Nor can I help it as for myself they woo with vows that never dreamed of paying you. The field is free. You need but ply your charms to draw this horde of lovers from my arms.
Do not think I am so much concerned if you possess the lovers I have spurned. Do you suppose I do not know their price? Too high for virtue, not too high for vice. Do you suppose this wicked world believes that she gives nothing who so much receives, and that these gallants glow with virtuous fires, and round chaste altars burn with pure desires? The world is not your dupe, and I could name full many a virtuous and comely dame that walks without a lover at her side, because her honor is her only pride. And thence derives an obvious inference. Man's love is commonly the tool of sense, and when fond lovers at the altar bend, to rob its treasure is their secret end. You need not therefore hold your head so high, because you have what everyone could buy. Nor need you speak in such disdainful tone of those whose charms are charier than your own. If they but wished, they could dispute the prize which they abandoned to your conquering eyes. And if they deign to copy you, could prove that all have lovers who will pay for love.
Do, madam, do. Show how the trick is done. Teach it to the world by having won.
Madame, it's time this tete-a-tete should cease. It has already had too large a lease, and if prolonged, it might fatigue your wit. So Basque shall call my coach, if you permit.
By all means. But while waiting, I entreat that you will take this comfortable seat. Don't stand on ceremony. Oh, but behold, here is my friend Alsace, a heart of gold, a wit as golden. Pray, let it atone for all that you have suffered from my own. Alceste, I have a little note to write, which I must send away by post tonight. So take my place and play the host for me, and compensate my scanted courtesy.
Sir, rest assured it needed no behest when you play host for me to be the guest. Companion thus, I thank with all my heart a hostess who disdains to play her part. For truly, merit so sublime as yours wins plaudits from all men, even ensures homage more ardent still from womankind if, like myself, they have an open mind. I cannot understand the king's neglect, who holds all virtue in such supreme respect. It's most unjust, and I'm deeply grieved to see your merit unperceived.
Mine, madam? But what claims have I to urge? What virtues that o'er all the rest emerge? What acts of mine, what exploits stand recorded that I should rail at going unrewarded?
All those who shine in the court's grateful eye, can they all claim the worth that you deny? Merit must wait on opportunity, and if such things depended on me.
Oh, come, let's talk of more authentic things. My merits make no claim on courts and kings. The king indeed would have enough to do if he must use our worth and find it too.
A thing that shines so bright needs little finding. We read the volume's worth in its rich binding. And you know, I hear on every hand that you have scarce your equal in the land.
All men today are lauded to the skies, and every corner carries off a prize. Each piddling merit equals every other, and every hero has a hero brother. Praise upon praise is lavished without stint, and even my valet reads his name in print.
Yet surely you might bid for wider fame and add new honor to your honored name. If some court functions square with your desires, I have some potent friends can pull the wires. They'll pave the way for you at my behest. You need but nod, and they will do the rest.
What function, madam, could I fill at court? To be the butt of rivals, and the sport of shifting winds of favor? To find bliss in a king's greeting or a courtier's kiss? I have not learned to bend a pliant knee. I do not fawn on rank and pedigree. I have no skill to feign and play a part. To be sincere and frank is all my art. Tongues that are blunt or that are too distraught to give a crooked flexure to the thought, hands that are pure and hearts that are pure and hands that fear a stain may go to court indeed, but go in vain. I'm well aware that it alone can give the wealth and honor on which worldlings live, but he who will not stoop to beg this trash, he who disdains the credit and the cash, he plays no part in the great pantomime. He need not praise the lords who rave in rhyme, or he need not pocket insults and rebuffs, or live among the periwigs and powder puffs, or march a captive in his lady's train, or mix with gallants born without a brain.
Well, there's another topic I would broach, since this one seems too thorny to approach, yet I scarce dare to, lest my heart appear touched by your woe and welfare all too near. But truly, I've observed with deep regret how much of love you give and how little get. I feel that you deserve a better fate and might find elsewhere a more worthy mate.
Indeed, you show me a most tender zeal, such as a lover must profoundly feel.
Friendship oft makes the unwilling eye more keen, and faults none guessed by it alone are seen. Your vows are wasted on a faithless heart that has ensnared you with disloyal heart.
It may be so. Love still is doomed to be the fool of hope. It looks, yet cannot see. But, oh, what cruelty thus to unchain phantasmal torments from a lover's brain.
Nay, have it your way then, and be still deceived. Words are but words if they be not believed.
Speak, speak, there is no agony like doubt, no torture like a thing past finding out. I would know all, and yet I'll credit not till 20 proofs confirm this damned thought.
Enough, 'tis well. Since you demand more light, I'll furnish proof set down in black and white. Lend me your arm and your good company for just a short half hour, and you shall see. Oh, I can't refuse when it is you who ask it. A little letter in a little casket, penned by a fair but very fickle hand that writes its vows of love in shifting sand. Oh, if you wished, I know where you could find a heart more loyal and a love more kind.
Although his actions are a little mad, they have their finest too, and I must add, this bold sincerity, this virtuous pride, has a heroic and noble side. It sits upon him as upon a throne, and I could wish all hearts were like his own.
Alas, the more I watch our moody friend, the more I fear this dismal drama's end. This humorous creature, this fantastic heart, was never meant to play a lover's part. And of all ladies he has ever seen, the last he should have loved is Celimene.
This only proves that love is not the child of blended humours and of souls beguiled by mutual music till they interfuse. Nay, love is chance, and lovers do not choose.
But do you think Alceste is truly loved?
That is a point not easily to be proved. I cannot read the heart of her he loves. Herself, perchance, scarce knows what motive moves those alternating tides that rise and fall, and now o'erflow, and now flow not at all.
Alas, too oft things are not what they seem, and love's high hopes turn to a troubled dream. Were I Alcest, and Alcest I'd seek love's answering passion in the paler cheek, and read its wistful yearnings in an eye made pensive by expectant constancy. Why then quest for a wilder flower less near, if I could pluck the rose that tarries here?
I cannot speak the language of the rose, and needs must answer you in plainest prose. I feel a sister's fondness for Alceste, and long to see his wayward passion blessed, to see him and the object of his vows a ravished husband and a blissful spouse. But should some chance disastrously disperse these golden hopes, and if in this reverse he looked for consolation otherwhere, it is not I could let him long despair, and I would prize with a more constant love the heart another proved unworthy of.
I see with grief, yet with no jealous heart, another's image graven on your heart. Alceste himself can tell you how I've pled to see his love, not mine, retributed. Yet should he some day wed his Salamin, though you might still a sister's love retain, might not a livelier passion touch your heart? One that should warm this whole and not apart? This is the dream that I wish to banish, and should all bars and scruples happily vanish, this rounded sphere could hold no bliss more sweet than mine to lay my homage at your feet.
Your speech grows rosy. Let's return to prose.
There are no flowers of speech. Each reddening rose is rooted in my heart, and my best blood has dyed each blossom in its crimson flood.
Avenge me for a past woe past cure, for an affront no mortal could endure.
Why, what is this? What passion moves you so?
A thing that it is very death to know. Not the collapse of universal nature could stir me more. Not heaven's own judicature could fathom cries like this. Alas, all's lost.
Alack, poor soul, by what strange tempest tossed?
Oh, cozening nature, why imprint a grace so fatal false on such a heavenly face?
But speak, Alceste, explain.
A jilt, a jade, I shall go mad. I've been fooled, deceived, betrayed by Salamin. Staggers all belief, all hope of restoration and relief.
But have you some convincing proof of this?
Suspicion often leads the mind amiss, and jealous fancies oft on shadows feed.
Sir, your advice I neither ask nor heed. What proof more damning can my soul demand than this brief scrawl? How well I know this hand. This letter to Orant, oh cursed name, makes clear as day my ruin and her shame. Orant, whose blandishments I thought she'd fled, the only rival whom I did not dread.
A letter sometimes runs to strange extremes and is not half so guilty as it seems.
Sir, I repeat, since I must say it twice, that I have not requested your advice.
Kind hearts being wronged learn to forget their wrongs.
Oh, teach me then. To you that work belongs. Your gentle hand alone can bring relief and healing balm to still this gnawing grief. Avenge me on this recreant heart, whose vows forsworn and double-dealing art make hideous mock of constancy like mine.
What? I revenge you? How?
Make but a sign, and all my heart is yours. Old love is killed when by newer love its place is filled. I'll punish Salamin by paying you the vows she scorns, the observances, the true and ardent love, the thousand courtesies, the pledges, the regards, the passioned pleas that are the soul of love.
Nay, what you speak, Alceste, though I myself might fondly seek to hear your words reworded, is but founded on fragile fancies all too vaguely grounded. And this hot lust for vengeance that you cherish, so lightly born, may just as likely perish. When we are wronged by one we deeply love, we make 1,000 pleas, but not one move. In vain we see and sanction every reason that bids us flee, the broken vows, the treason. We sweat, we'll go, we'll fly, and still we stay till reason with our reason flies away. No woes seem hard as love's woes to endure, yet one soft word suffices for their cure.
No, no, for an offense so black as this, there is no cure, no reconciling kiss. Not heaven itself shall change the oath I've sworn. I scorn myself for pardoning her I scorn. Look where she comes. Oh, hypocritic face that cloaks such falsehood with celestial grace. I will o'erwhelm her with her infamy and all the monstrous wrongs she's wrought on me, and then bring back a heart wrung from her toils and laid at your feet to be your spoils. Oh, teach me patience, heaven, my senses reel.
Oh, how now? What is this? What's it you feel? What is the meaning of these stifled cries, these tragic glances, and these deep-fetched sighs?
They mean that a love like yours is bought and sold, as liberal as the air, and icy cold as wintry winds, and changeful as the sea, a vast, unfathomed, dark iniquity.
Bravo! What heights of eloquence you reach! Though I am its subject, I applaud the speech.
Think not to stop me with your galling wit. Blush, rather. You have ample cause for it. I bear the token of your treason here. This sets its sage on my presageful fear. This stamps you false. And in this little space is writ your shame, my ruin, our disgrace. Those hateful fears that robbed me of my rest image a woe that I too rightly guessed. Through your fine spun duperies, to me my bodeful star revealed what was to be. Oh, monstrous deed! All nature veils her face, and the heavens darken o'er your soul's disgrace. 'Tis past all remedy. I know love does not at our bidding ebb and flow like the moon-lifted tides. I know the heart is free as air to seek its counterpart. I should not vex your ear with my complaining. Had those false lips abjured their trick of feigning, had you with honest openness replied, I should have loved you still, although denied. But to invite my vows, to fan my flame and treat my wooing as a merry game, an interlude to tease an idle ear, a mummer's mask, a show to mock and jeer. That is a dereliction, cries to heaven, and never was and ne'er can be forgiven. After such wrong, there is no respite more. My spirit wanders on this utmost shore of patience, and I dream fantastic things, insane revenges, mad imaginings. In very truth, what can I say? What do? Pierced by this poisoned dagger, and by you.
What means this rhapsody on tides and treason? Good sir, I half suspect you've lost your reason.
I lost it when my constant eye sought in yours an answering constancy. When I leaned o'er the flower of your rich beauty and sucked its honey poison. When I dreamed you understood my love, my vows, my duty, that you might be even what you seemed.
And of what lawless deed are you complaining?
Oh, heart forsworn. Oh, tongue adept in feigning. How are you trapped at last in your own snares? See what accusing face this writing wears. On this note, all my revolt is grounded, and by these lines your falsehood stands confounded.
So, that's the bird that chirrups in the bush.
Look, brazen mink, look on this note and blush.
I do not blush, and yet I see the note.
Will you perchance forswear your hand that wrote, because this cunning missile bears no name?
Nay, why should I my proper hand disclaim?
Can you thus behold without a qualm these lines that all your perfidy unfold? For me, each burning letter leaps and dances, yet you stand by with cold, unheedful glances.
Let me sit out the dance here against the wall.
Ha! You deride me. You deny this scrawl. Orant, Orant, it is to him you wrote the honeyed phrases in this traitorous note.
Orant, who said this honey flowed for him?
Some honest friends who showed how your lewd whim had leapt from one to t'other. Yet, let's grant some other gallant is your pursuivant. And where's your favors? How am I the less abused and flouted by your faithlessness?
If these words now were written to a woman, might I seem less guilty, less inhuman?
Oh, shifty ruse. Oh, pregnant emphasis. Fie! What a wretched comedy this is. You pretend with shame so pitiful to turn me to a puppet? To a gull? Do women write such burning words as these and interchange such amorous ecstasies? Speak. By what juggling will you nullify the black impeachment of this barefaced lie? Come, cure your poison with some antidote and conjure out a woman from this note.
Oh, I much regret, sir. I must say you nay. I have mislaid my conjurer's wand today, unless perchance it is the same I see, now brandished like a furrow over me.
Come, don't be angry. Make this matter clear. Show how your conduct and your words cohere.
No, I protest, nor do I care a whit if you condemn me or if you acquit.
Come, Salaman. Persuade me, if you can, that this was for a woman, not a man. On this one point, let me be satisfied, and I'll believe all else.
Believed, belied. It's all one to me. I have no pride. Believe, sir, what you will. Believe Orant to be my paragon. Believe I vaunt Orant's address, his grace, his wit, his worth, and that I am Orant's from this time forth. Farewell. Forget my odious sins and vices. Leave me henceforth to my own devices.
Did ever true love perish in this wise, or read its doom in such dissembling eyes? I come here to complain of Salaman, armed with just wrath and resolute disdain, and all the fury of a passion spurned, and lo, on me I see the tables turned. 'Tis I am wronged, and it is she who chides. 'Tis I entreats, and it is she derides. And yet my heart, my feeble heart, relents. Its cloudy counterpoise of arguments melts mist-like into naught. My thought's sick care forgets its theme, and love gloats on despair. In vain I rail at those disloyal eyes. I see them always with a new surprise. In vain I shun the magic of that voice. It need but speak, I yield. I have no choice. Oh, I could gaze forever on that face and love my hate and dote on my disgrace. How you turned a prophet sorceress, the very impotence of love's excess, and coldly play with the consuming fire of passion which those fatal eyes inspire. At least let me believe you did not sin. Sing true as you are fair, without, within. Read me this riddle to my heart's content, and show this letter can be innocent. Ah, were you half as so glad to undeceive as I, fond fool, as eager to believe?
Think you these sullen fits, this jealous woe, deserve affection such as I bestow? Tell me, what reason have I for constraining my soul for falsehood and perjurous feigning? Why, if my heart were toward another turn, need I conceal the flame with which it burned? Does it not the promise of my hand suffice? Must I depopulate my paradise? Must with an angel with flaming sword drive all intruders except my Lord? You have my word while waiting for my hand, and favored thus, what more can you demand? So sweet a pledge should kill all jealous fear and chime like music in a lover's ear. These chaste confessions are not lightly made, but like shy violets, blossom best in shade. A woman's first thought is of pride and honor, wherein lovers' balmy zephyrs breathe upon her. And so, when I avowed my love for you, how dare you think me aught but pure and true? How dare you deem a woman faith so brittle and say I so much, believe so little? Nay, tell me, is it well to doubt a thing I find so hard to tell? Oh, me, your jealous qualms, your unbelief should rouse resentment, sir, instead of grief. If I were so placable, so human, so foolish, fond, in short, so mere a woman, would I were like you then, I too might dream elsewhere to seek new love or more sure esteem.
Do you cajole me still? Ah, could I know? I had not thought love could unman me so, or will and wisdom suffer such eclipse. One glance, one sigh, one accent from those lips, and I'm undone. I melt like wax on fire. I thrill with wild and infinite desire. I can resist no more. It is my fate. My bliss or bane and all my future state lie hazardous in you.
Now heaven beshrew, would you could learn to love as others do.
Oh, no, there never was a love like mine. It has strange depths that you can scarce divine. Mad moods when passion's introverted zeal makes me desire your woe and not your weal. I wish you lived unseen, unloved, unprized, your virtues scorned, your charms unrecognized. That stepdame fortune, jealous of your worth, had given you neither rank nor wealth nor birth, so that my heart o'erwhelmingly might prove the boundless magnanimity of love, so that my soul alone might comprehend you, so I might ever give, you ever take, and know no bliss except the bliss I make.
Was ever lover half so mad as you? God, good heaven forbid such augurs come true. Oh, but here's your valet with big round face shrouded in gloom.
What means this strange grimace? Come, sirrah, speak.
Of mystery, here's your fill.
What news?
Sir, our affairs stand ill.
Go on.
Shall I speak out?
Yes, and at once.
Master, are we alone?
Oh, triple dunce, wilt speak or no?
Our safety lies in flight.
What, fool?
We must pack off like thieves at night.
But why?
Sir, we must quit this parlous spot.
The cause?
You'll fly, sir, if you know what's what.
Tell me the reason for this raving, scamp.
With bag and baggage, sir, we must decamp.
You numbskull. If you continue thus to navigate, I will break your wooden pate.
Sir, in one word then, since you just as leave, I'll take it on me to be both short and brief. A man then, briefly, a man with a brief, a little short man, a fat man, all black, both as to clothes and as to looks. Alack came right into our kitchen with a writ, and though I couldn't read a word of it, that it concerns your suit, I have no doubt, though not the devil himself could make it out.
But what is the connection, ignoramus, between my fleeing and the court's mandamus?
Don't you see, within an hour or two, a gentleman who sometimes visits you came seeking us, and when found you gone, surcharged me in sort of a whispering tone, knowing my zeal and valuing the same, to warn you. Lord, I can't recall his name.
Confound his name and tell me what he said.
He said, this friend, sir, that unless you fled, you'd find a sudden danger has arisen of being bolens nolens clapped in prison.
He said no more? Nothing to make me see the meaning of this puzzling mystery?
Nothing at all. He asked for pen and ink and jotted down some lines in which I think you'll find perhaps this riddle's lock and key.
Give me this paper, quick.
What can this be?
I know not, though I hope in time to learn. Come, fellow, quick.
Good sir, I turn and turn my pockets inside out, and outside in, and I think so hard it makes my cranium spin. It seems as if that paper were a fable. I recall I left it on your table.
Oh, find it, clodpole, or
Be calm, Alcest. Let's hope this all proves to be but a silly jest.
it seems that fate, whate'er I say or do, debars us from a peaceful interview. Yet let me hope before this day is past to find you here alone with me at last. I am resolved beyond all thought of change.
But why indulge a fantasy so strange?
No, no, not all the grounds you can allege, nor all your sophistries can blunt the edge of my fixed purpose. Oh, satanic age in which such malice and corruption rage. Oh, world, all wickedness and fraud and force. I will renounce all human intercourse. I've lost my suit, yet all things favored me. Equity, honor, virtue, decency. All men proclaimed the rightness of my cause, and I relied on justice and the laws. Yet I relied upon them to my cost. In spite of everything, my suit is lost. A knave contemned alike by foes and friends achieves, despite me, his nefarious ends. His crime is sanctioned by the court's decree, and the heavens wink at his iniquity. Nor is this all, Philant. This wretch accursed adds now a second outrage to the first. There is a book of which you've surely heard, a filthy book, vile, impotent, absurd, a book, in short, that's worthy of the halter, penned by some enemy of the throne and altar, and now this rogue pretends 'twas I who wrote it. And here's Orant who dares in turn to quote it, and tries to prove by master and by style that I and I alone could vent such bile. Orant, that model of our courtly youth, whom I have piqued by telling him the truth. This coxcomb who would force me willy-nilly to laud his limping verse, however silly. This fop who loathes the truth and therefore me, because I answered him so honestly, now hates me with inexorable hate and paints me as a foe to church and state. He seeks to fix on me imagined crimes, and all because I did not like his rhymes. Oh, monstrous world, all men are of this sort. They mock at virtue and make truth their sport. They set dishonor on a golden throne and are sincere in villainy alone. It is too much. I've suffered here too long. I sicken at this scene of lust and wrong. Since man turns wolf, the wolf shall be my brother, and in his wild world I'll forget the other.
Schemes such as this demand much care and thought. Let's wait, your picture's a bit overwrought. This aftermath of scandal that has risen has done small harm. You're not yet in prison. Calumnious tales die of their own accord, and liars oft are pierced with their own sword.
My adversary fears no counterblasts. For him, the uninterrupted sunshine lasts. Today we see him halfway up the hill. Tomorrow we shall see him higher still.
His currish malice wins such meager credit, 'twill turn and rend the wicked hand that fed it. This judgment, too, has no finality. A higher court may change the court's decree.
No, I will cling to it at any cost. 'Tis 20,000 francs that I have lost. Yet do I cheaply gain by these reverses the right of venting 20,000 curses on this distempered world. This day, this date shall stand as monuments to consecrate to unborn ages my immortal hate.
But yet you would.
Put me no buts. I will not change my mind. Your words yet play around me like the whistling wind. What? Will you dare before my very face excuse the antics of the human race?
No, I will grant half mankind are in league to rule the rest by force and by intrigue. I'll grant that all are vile, the world a den, that men are wolves, but not that wolves are men. Yet why should all this furnish argument to turn nomadic and set up a tent? These human frailties that you wish to flee are stimulants for our philosophy. In them lie virtue's origin and end, and indirectly they're its secret friend. For if all men were virtuous, true, and just, and every heart were worthy of our trust, our will would languish in lethargic ease, and virtue die of plethoric disease. Were all these villains honest? Don't you see that?
They would be honest villains. QED. I know, sir, you can be most eloquent and make black white by dint of argument, but all this talent runs to waste with me. My purpose holds. From this vile world I flee. My temper's bilious. I have tireless lungs, and I'm of those who cannot hold their tongues. This, all my life, would be one endless quarrel. That is my story. You may draw the moral. Leave me in peace to wait for Selamin. Now shall the final proof of love be seen. If in my desert she refuse to dwell, the world grows dark. If she consent, all's well.
She tarries. Let us talk with Eliant.
Not I. Too many apprehensions haunt my thought-sick soul. Leave me to seek relief in this dark corner with my gloomy grief.
That is ungracious company, I fear. I'll seek Eliant and bid her join you here.
Yes, you must prove by a bond so sweet you'll rarefy the love laid at your feet. I want the full possession of your heart. I want the whole of it, and not a part. If your soul trembles to a lover's touch, why should you hesitate to say as much? I ask one proof, that one you must give. My love in sole preeminence must live. Prove that you prize me more than all the rest, and prove it now by banishing Alcest.
But why this feud between Alceste and you, who were his warmest companion hitherto?
Such queries should be contraband when I am suing for your heart and hand. Choose of us two which one shall mount the throne. My resolution waits upon your own.
Yes, madam, he is right, and I agree. 'Tis time to choose between himself and me. My hopes, my wish, reduplicate his own. Confess your love, and let your choice be known. This dalliant coyness can no longer last. You must ban one and hold the other fast.
Does your suit thrive? I would not interfere.
If yours were thriving, I should not be here.
In losing from the ark this questing dove, I point no peril at your olive grove.
Nay, let it fly to seek its greening spray. Perchance the fruit is plucked this many a day.
If Salamen prefer your love to mine.
If on yourself her eye one moment shine.
I swear, I'll not be fooled as heretofore.
I swear to heaven I'll never see her more.
Madam, 'tis time to speak without constraint.
Madam, 'tis time to banish fear and faint.
You need but tell which way your thoughts incline.
You need but choose between his love and mine.
What? Do you hesitate at such a choice?
What? Do you doubt to whom you give your voice?
Nay, truly, gentlemen, you ask too much. Although such gallantry both please and touch, yet 'tis unseasonable. We know full well, we women, when we feel love's sovereign spell, some voice, half nature and half miracle, some sweet monotone coming from above, exalts o'er all we like and one we love. Yet 'twere a churlish thing to say outright, good sir, I ban you henceforth from my sight. I'm giving my heart away, but not to you. I have enough for one, but not for two. My heart reveals its passion prepossession, all unawares, its indirect confessions. It starts, it halts, it faints, all make it plain to unloved lovers that all they sigh in vain.
Speak for decision, madam. I desire it. I do not fear it,
And I require it. I ask an outright yes, an outright no, enjoining one to stay and one to go. Away with dallyings and uncertainties. 'Tis time to speak truth and not to please. If still you seem misdoubtful which to choose, if still you put us off or still refuse, I'll know your fancies are but feather light, inconsequent and treacherous as night.
I thank you, sir. Were I not all aflutter, I should have uttered every word you utter.
Was ever woman importuned like this? I must say yes, say no, retain, dismiss, must e'er turn Turk, and at your bidding smother one rival's hope in presence of another? Fie, this is mere madness, I protest. Come, play the umpire, Eliant. Alceste bids me to crown his love and ban Orant. Orant bids me crown his and cry avant to Alceste. And hereon Orant desires, and Alceste more imperiously requires, that I pronounce before his rival's face his own felicity, his foe's disgrace. Tell me, sweet cousin, is it woman's wont e'er to give a lover such affront?
It might be wise to seek another judge, though adverse verdicts always leaves a grudge. 'Tis kindness sometimes not to temporize, and truest hearts are those without disguise.
Madam, it is in vain to persevere.
You subterfuges find no second here.
You must give way. You must say yes or no.
Or else continue silent, and I go.
Speak one sole word, and our contentions end.
Speak none at all, and I shall comprehend.
Madam, we come without scrupulous letter to say la qualia little matter.
Your presence, gentlemen, is opportune. You also have a page in this lampoon.
My visit, madam, will no doubt amaze you. Yet since when others blame, I always praise you. I've come here with these gentlemen to prove how wrong they are to doubt your faith and love. I hold too high a notion of your soul to think that you could play a double role, and I have defied the strongest evidence and tried to wrest it to a guiltless sense. And so, forgetful of our little jars, your lovers' quarrels, such as leave no scars, I come here in exultant hope to see your soul washed pure of every calumny.
By what ingenuous reasoning can you better? Oh, sadly cut with this aspersive letter, this tender missing right and took the thunder.
By what ingenious antidote for slander will you wash white, oh, subtle parafast, this tender missive written to a cast?
You also know his hands, his style, his wit, and have no doubt some specimen of it in your portfolios or upon your shelf, in tender missing writing to yourself. Have are some letters that repay the reading. You are indeed a most humorous creature, Vitanda, to censure me for my high spirit, and to complain that I never seem so merry as when you sing when you're absent. You could not have me more but justly, and if you do not come but hate to beg my pardon for his offense, I will never forgive you. As for the lovely Viscount, he ought to be here. For our lovely Viscount, who you make the head and front of my offending, he is the last man that could tickle my fancy. I never seen I saw him one day during 3 good quarter an hour, spitting into a way to make circles. I had held him in very moderate esteem. As for the little Marquis, this is myself, gentlemen, I proclaim him without vanity. As for the little Marquis, who held my hand in his so long time yesterday, I know nobody so insignificant as himself. He is all starch and strut. As for the Knight of the Green Ribbons, it's your turn now, sir. As for the Knight of the Green Ribbons, I am diverted by the Brooks, Sally's, and his crop humor. But only rarely. The rest of the time I find he's as tedious as an old wife's tale. As for the sonneter, this stone in cast into your garden. As for the sonneter, who has set up as a wit and wish to play the alto, nothing in the world can induce me to listen to his chatter. And he bores me equally in prose and verse. Let yourself then be convinced that I know you always merry as you sing, that I miss you more than I could wish in all festive gatherings to which I'm dragged in spite of myself. And finally, that there is no sweeter seasoning for our pleasure than the presence of those we love.
Now I shall have my turn. Your friend Platandra, whom you speak of and who bills and coos so amorously, is the very last man I should care for. He is a very silly creature to persuade himself that he is loved, just as you are to believe that you are not. To be reasonable, barter your ideas for his, and visit me as often as you can to console me for being beset by so capital a bore as he is. These letters are a noble monument to your fine taste and satiric bent. And lest they miss their garland of renown, we go to spread your glory through the town.
Those I am dealing by my eloquence. You are unworthy even of offense, but I will show you that we little lords can find more faithful hearts and find those hearts.
What? Have you used me too in this strange fashion, the god of your upholstery passion? And do you soothe an amorous hoodman's blind clap hands by turn upon all humankind? I've been your dupe too long. Thank God it's over. And here I stand, a liberated lover. Sad to have known, yet glad to know you now. Sad to have wasted many a precious vow, only to learn that all your gold was dross. Yet glad to know 'tis you who suffer loss. Sir, you're the darling now of wind and weather. And may you wind this matter up together.
Sir, this is a most notorious wrong. I can't be still. My feelings are too strong. Was ever conduct seen as base as this? I care not if the others win amiss, but this kind gentleman, this constant love, a man of honor, worth, and sense, moreover, who loved you with a blind idolatry, should he?
I pray you, madam, leave to me the audit of my score. The back that takes superfluous burdens often bends or breaks. Although so kind, so constant, and so moral, so honorable in friendship, and so true, it is in vain that you espouse my quarrel. Cannot repay you by espousing you.
How dare you think I harbor thoughts like this, or that my soul desires such shop-worn bliss? Are you mad, sir, that you should entertain such climbing hopes in your presumptuous brain? This lady's leavings are a merchandise that none will covet if her taste is nice. Renounce these heady fumes of wanton pride. It is not I will rally by your side. Patch up your loves and renovate your vows and be fit husband of this fitting spouse.
I've kept silent while the rest have spoken of faith dishonored and of pledges broken. But in my soul there's a voice that thunders accusingly as Jove's.
My foolish blunders, my light caprices, and my unconfound and errant fancies of an idle mind accuse me more than you do. Oh, Alceste, I have not very deeply wronged the rest, but only you. Toward you I am to blame. You were no moth that fluttered near the flame, but a true lover, worthy truest love. I know my levity must seem to prove that I am, and alas, I am too earthly, too trivial, too weak, and all unworthy of such a love as yours. It were but human to hate me now. Do so.
How can I, woman? How can I hate the thing that most I love? Oh, that my reason could rise above the madness of this passion. But how vain 1,000 grounds for hate if one for love remains. Witness the power of an unworthy passion, in what fantastic molds if doth refashion the melting purpose. No, I am undone. I needs must finish as I have begun. And you shall see that hearts misdeemed the best and wisest are as feeble as the rest. Yes, yes, light creature, I'll forgive your crimes. I will impute them to the world, the times. I'll call your treasons foibles, your untruth mere giddiness, your sins the mask of youth. If your repenting heart will be content to join me in my austere banishment, share the fixed purpose of my steadfast mind to flee the tainted touch of humankind, desert this world, this den, this robber's wood, and live with me in cloistered solitude. Be all to me as I will be to you, and ask naught else. 'Tis thus you can undo, thus only, all the evil you have wrought, and stand new, purified in all men's thought. Thus only can a noble heart forget its outrage, and be free to love you yet.
What? Quit the world before it quits me, to be a barren bride of solitude, singing love's hymnals into the voiceless wood? To have no courtier save the flexile tree, no sweeter minstrel than the horse-toned rook, no brighter mirror than the silver brook? To me, I'm young and fair and blessed. Fie, what a foolish dream is this, Alceste?
Why? 'Tis the very soul of love to spy the whole world mirrored in the loved one's eye. Give me your hand, your heart, your company. The wilderness will be a world to me.
To me, it'll still be a wilderness. I am too young, too frail a votress for such stern vows. But could you not abide this bad world if I trod it by your side? Might we not still dwell here?
It is too late. This cold refusal turns my love to hate. You were my all, my love, my queen, my prize. But I was less than nothing in your eyes. So be it. I renounce you. Go your way. You never more shall see me from this day. Madam, 1,000 virtues shine in you. You only have I found sincere and true. I've still admired your goodness and your charms, the calm that soothes, the softness that disarms. Yet let me, as before, still find in you a comforter, a friend, a sister too. I fear my spirit has been too long vexed by devious moods, too hopelessly perplexed to dream a dearer bliss. I am unfit, perhaps. I'm sure I was not made for it, nor it, alas, for me, but I recognize that I am all unworthy of such a prize, and that, in short,
I read your thought, and you'll be glad to know I am besought to give in trust to this too generous a friend, a heart he deigns to love and comprehend.
What other joy can ever equal this? What woe could ever cancel such a bliss?
ah, may these sentiments forever last, and a long future crown a happy past. But I, betrayed by all, o'erwhelmed and wronged, I leave a mad world where I scarce belonged, to seek some spot on this unfriendly earth that honors liberty and manly worth.
Sweet Eliant, join all your prayers with mine. to wean our rash friend from his strange design.
Hello, everyone. I'm assuming that there is wild applause going on out there in YouTube land. Yay. All right, thank you very much for joining us for tonight's presentation of the Misanthrope. Please tell your friends. This will be up on our YouTube channel. Upstarts is an all volunteer nonprofit theater collective based in York, Pennsylvania. We will be doing the Give Local York event in May, so please join us for that. And the Day of Giving, yes, in May. And we'll also be doing a show in the parks this summer. So join us on social media for more information about that. And now let's meet the cast.
Hello, thank you for coming to our show. I'm Stephanie Schwartz. I live in Connecticut, and I usually perform in the New York metropolitan area. Zoom has opened up our playing areas, and we thank you for coming tonight. Bye.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Bronston. I am coming to you live from Richmond, Virginia. And this is my first show with Upstart. I auditioned for this on kind of a whim, and I'm really glad to be here. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zoe Goodman. And yeah, like my nemesis, just kidding, not really my nemesis. This was also my first, Upstart Arts production. This was also kind of a whim after just finding it really by chance. And I'm so glad I did. Everyone's been great. The cast has been great. Everyone who's worked behind the scenes to make this happen has been great. Moliere really is great. And yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for coming.
Hi, my name's Ashley White. I've actually done a number of shows with Upstart Arts, a lot of their pandemic stuff, a lot of stuff before that. I kind of got pulled into this last minute, so thank you for your patience with me throughout all of this. And I like, doing a lot of things with them, so I do hope that you guys support and, continue to support Upstart Arts and all that they do. And I really hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Stewart. I live in New York. This was my first Moliere, though I have done a few previous shows with Upstarts before. And thank you so much for coming, and I hope you really enjoyed the show.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gail Eubank. I played Cassandra. I'm the president of the board for Upstart Arts. I'm co-founder of the organization, actually. Thank you all very much for your support and for being with us tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacqueline Bresoro. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I play a cast. I've been working with Upstart since 2021, so I'm so grateful to be here. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen Concilio. I played Snotty Arsenal and a little bit vacant Dubois. I hope I am neither of those things in real life, but who can tell? I'm coming to you today from Washington State. I live here part of the time and in Arizona part of the time. And I'm super grateful to Zoom because I'm originally from York and participated in some Upstart things when I lived there. And it's just been super exciting to be able to stay involved via Zoom from across the country and to make friends in other countries around the world. It's been cool. And thank you all for coming.
Hi everyone, I'm Ash. I was stage manager for this production, and I also did the officer. I've done both on stage and behind seen stuff for our upstart for a while. The pandemic stuff really helps because since I no longer live in Pennsylvania, I can't do in-person stuff with them. So being able to do it over Zoom is really great. I love the work they do, and thank you for watching.
All right, so now we all- okay, nice.
Mhm. Right, cast it back.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Thank you very much for coming.